Hi guys, so in this video we will see how we can use the control panel, and the control panel is very easy and self-explanatory to use. So just click on control panel in here and go to effect controls. Now before we do this, one thing that we haven't mentioned before is that we have also an ambient light in here, and if we toggle that, we can see that it introduces some main light inside the whole scene. But in this case I'm going to keep that off since I would like this effect, and then I'm going to toggle this button to hide all the different layers and keep the layers that I need. So I have the control panel in here, and the first option here is the neon light amount, and that is pretty self-explanatory. If we switch that to 0, you can see how the neon light switches off. But of course, then you have also the neon light amount color 02, which is switched on in this case, but we can also adjust that to whatever we like. So we can increase that or just switch it off like that. So very nice features in here. And let's toggle on the neon light amount as well. You can make it as bright as you want. So you can play with these and see which settings work out best for you. Then you also have the reflect rotation here, and we will see this mostly when these are set to off. So if we rotate the rotation, let's rotate it with 90 degrees, we can see how the reflection on the neon tubes have changed. So let's give it a 180. You can see how the reflections change in here. And that's how that would work. I'm going to leave this to 0. Most of the times you wouldn't want to use this, but you have this option if you want to adjust the reflection on the neon tubes. You can just like that. I'm going to bring back the lights in here. So both at 0.3. Now, if you would like this part to render a little bit faster, what you can do is you can change this to preview while you are testing in here. Then make sure that before you render, you bring everything back to full. So let's go back to the control panel. Now, another feature that you have in here is the switch on and off light. Now, this would be useful, for instance, if you are, let's say you want to switch the neon light on in here. So to do that, we're going to open this up in here. We're going to toggle the switch in here, and we're going to start this from 0. And as you can see, it is off right now. Now, if we find this effect in here, neon light amount, we can see that it has made a keyframe in there. And if we go ahead and move just one keyframe, let's wait for it to render. Now we can here toggle the light on. So 0.5 in there. And you can see how it is now switching on automatically with this new animation that we have done. Now, what we have also here is the switch on off light. So this would work when we explain, we will see this work when we explain the next feature in here, which is the background intensity when neon is on. So some people would like to have the background be darker when the neon is on to have the effect more intense. So to do this, we have this feature here. So we have background intensity when neon is on, and if we make this 0, for instance, you can see how the background is completely off like this. Let's make this, for instance, a 0.3 or 0.5, just like that. So that's what this feature does. It controls the background intensity. Now this switch in here would control how that is switched on and off. So you can switch the background to dark, or you can switch it on. And of course, once you have the lights switched on, all the glow on the background would go. So you have this switch in here if you would like to use it. So to illustrate how this would be useful, I'm going to go in here and put a keyframe in there, and then move one frame and switch it off in here. And now you can see how this animation would work. So we would go from this background, which is a little bit brighter, and then when the neon is switched off on, the background goes dimmer so that we can see the neon better. So those are those two features in there. Now another feature that we have is the neon light flicker mount, and this can be used to flicker the neon. So if we make this, for instance, to 0.5 and just render it a little bit in here, you can see how it is flickering in there, just like that. Now I would like to keep it a little bit low, this one, so 0.1 would be good. And of course, when the neon goes on, we would be able to see this properly. So let's render this a bit. You can see how it went on here with the animation that we have done earlier. And if we play back now, we can see how that flicker would work, like that. And you have whole control on that as well. And finally, we have the spotlight color, which we can go ahead in here and give it whatever color we like. So for instance, if we give it a red, you can see how here we have some redness in the background, and that is an overall spotlight that is thrown on the background. Normally I would like to keep this to white, but you have the option to control its color however you like. So for instance, you can even make it blue to match up with your neon. So that's the spotlight color. And I'm going to undo this to keep this to these settings. So those are the main features of the template, of the toolkit. And that's it with the control panel. So now finally let's jump to the next video to see what else we have left and how we can render, etc. So we will see you in the next video.